Well, I really wish I had a copy of the book that I'm going to talk about, but unfortunately I don't. I mean, I suppose it's no wonder that the last time I probably saw the book was, well, at least remember seeing the book was close on 40 years ago, if not longer.
These pages tell my story. They shape who I am.
If not longer. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, Book Time with Elvis, with me, Mark, and you may well see Elvis, of course, pottering around in the background during the course of this video, so feel free to say hi. I thought I would start a new series, and I got really inspired by watching these Netflix documentaries, such as the Toys That Made Us, or the Movies That Made Us series. I don't know if you know it, but it's worth checking out, especially if you're a kid of the 80s, which is kind of when they mostly concentrate on, maybe late 70s as well. And I started thinking, well, what were the books that made me? And I thought I would release an episode every week, hopefully, talking about books that made me who I am today. Books that influenced me in no particular order. I mean, I'm going to try to keep it, of course, from the earliest to the most recent, but the early years are kind of fogged over with the mist of the years. So there may well be others that are older than this one, but this is one that certainly sticks out in my early memory, because every reader has that one book, the first book they truly remember, and for me, one of those books is The Tale of Georgie Grub by Jean Willis and Margaret Chamberlain. I received it as a gift from a dear friend of our family, whose husband will be making an appearance in this series a little bit later, maybe in the next episode even, because both of them had really a big impact on my reading life. The couple in question were kind of like a third set of grandparents, really, to me. And this is a fun book, and I think it might explain a lot about me. It molded me. It did. Well, I hope it didn't. Perhaps it scared me into being a little bit more conscientious about my hygiene, perhaps. So we shall see. But if you've never read it, The Tale of Georgie Grub is about a little boy who absolutely refuses to take a bath. And, his mother gets so frustrated that he ends up getting covered in filth, in old jam, in, old dried egg yolks, glue, paint, all sorts of things. And it gets to the point where it's so bad that when he walks into the house and things, all the flowers die, and his mum basically kicks him out of the house. Now, a lot of children's books were, of course, with happy endings, but Georgie Grub actually isn't one with a particularly happy ending. It's a tale of it's a cautionary tale of making sure you look after your personal hygiene. Actually, I'm starting to think now why I would have been bought this book, but making sure you look after your personal hygiene, or you may end up being mistaken for rubbish or garbage and taken to the rubbish dump, which is exactly, spoiler alert, what happens to our hero in that story. So he is literally, that is the ending of the book. And I think, I'm not sure, I'm sure in the edition I had, which is similar to the one I'm showing you, and I will show it at the end, but of course I've had to cobble it together with bits I found around the internet. It's not a complete story, but it will give you some idea. But I'm pretty sure one of the last pictures was the bin men taking the rubbish bins away, and then they just saw like this pair of eyes sticking out from under the lid, and that indeed was our hero, Georgie Grub. So there was no redemption for him, no happy scrub up, and he started to learn his lesson. But no, he gets carted off to the municipal dump, where, I don't know, perhaps he survived and there were sequels and things like that. But the book stuck with me because of that, I think. And every time, of course, when I may well have been a mucky pup myself, I remember my parents certainly referring to me or reminding me of the tale of Georgie Grub. So I think given that it stuck with me all these years, I can't deny that the book would have had some form of impact on me one way or the other, and contributes to being one of those books that made me. So I hope if you stick around till the end and I sign off, that you'll see at least a little bit of what the story was about. And probably I hope you will find it as amusing as I did. I can't imagine now. I think if it was rewritten, I'm pretty sure there would be a happy ending, and he would either be rescued from the dump, or he would, come to realize that cleanliness is next to godliness, and that he would be better off taking a bath than eschewing it. So there we have it. Let me know in the comments below what one of your earliest book memories are. And as I say, I will continue this series with other books that made me. Thank you so much for watching. Do take care, everybody, and I will see you all again soon. Remember, stay tuned if you want to see a bit of it. Bye bye. So unfortunately, I don't actually have a copy of this book, but I was able to find part of it at least shared on this blog called littlebigreads.com. I'll leave the link down below, and I hope the person doesn't mind me using it. But the book, of course, in question, as you can see, is The Tale of Georgie Grub, with words by Jan Willis and the pictures and illustrations by Margaret Chamberlain. This is the tale of Georgie Grub, who would not give himself a scrub. No matter how his mother tried, when she said soap, he'd run and hide. I have noticed I've had to change now to continue with the rest of the story, and I found this one on booklavka.ru. But then one day it got so bad, he drove his poor old mother mad. She threw the towel in and gave up. Let him be a mucky pup. On Monday, Georgie left the place with strawberry jam around his face and boiled egg upon his shirt and all his nails full of dirt. On Tuesday, still in Monday's socks, he started smelling like a fox. By Thursday, there was still no hope of Georgie getting near the soap. With dirty ears and nose and eyes, he started to attract the flies. He got sent home from school as well, for nobody could stand the smell. When he walked in, the flowers died. His mother made him go outside. You're not coming down this path, she said, until you've had a bath. I don't care, said Georgie Grub. You won't get me inside the tub. Smell. With pockets full of rubbish bins, as slimy as banana skins, he disappeared that very day to find another place to stay. And as no one would let him in, he crawled inside a rubbish bin, in with rotten cabbage stumps and slimy stew and porridge lumps, gristled bones, half-eaten chips, apple cores and custard drips. Little Georgie went to sleep, quite buried in the rubbish heap. There's really not much more to say. The binman came on Saturday.